Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to take one simple everyday object and use it to crack open the biggest question there is. What exactly is reality? We're going to see how ancient mystics and, you won't believe it, modern physicists are basically saying the exact same stunning thing about the universe and our place in it.
Okay, so at first glance, you know what this is. It's an egg. It's simple, it's contained, you've seen a million of them, you know the shell, and you're pretty sure you know what's on the inside. But what if you don't?
What if everything you think of as real, the world out there, and even the feeling of you in here? What if all of that is just the shell? A really convincing shell, yeah, but still, just a boundary between you and what's truly real.
Now this is where it gets wild. This is the big idea that mystics and somehow pioneering physicists have been pointing at for a long, long time. The universe isn't just out there, separate from you. Nope. The shocking truth might be that it's all right here, contained. So let's start by taking a closer look at that shell. This is the world we all think we know, right? Our solid, dependable, everyday reality. I mean, from the time we're kids, we learn this basic split. There's me, and then there's not me. And the line in the sand is pretty much our skin. I can wiggle my fingers, but I can't wiggle a mountain. It seems obvious, totally logical, but that one assumption, it's the foundation for our entire view of the world. But then, science started digging deeper, looking into the very nature of matter, and it started finding some really strange cracks in that solid, predictable world.
So who do you think said this? A poet? A spiritual guru? No way. This is Max Planck, one of the founding fathers of quantum theory. He's saying that consciousness isn't just some random thing that happened in the universe. He's saying it's the source, the very matrix that all matter comes from.
I mean, that just shatters the old idea of the universe as this big clock with a bunch of solid parts. At the tiniest level, atoms aren't solid at all. They're more like little tornadoes of energy, just spinning and vibrating. And the deeper scientists look, the more it seems like this energy is somehow connected to, well, to consciousness itself. Even something as basic as space turns out to be kinda shifty. Think about it like this. You're driving through a snowstorm, and all the flakes look like they're coming from one point, right in front of your windshield. Well, the same thing happens with starlight as we fly through space. And if you take that to the extreme, if you were rocketing along at near the speed of light, the whole universe would literally look like one single bright ball right in front of you. So if space itself changes depending on how you're moving, how real can it be? Okay, so if the out there, the world of solid objects and fixed space, is more of an illusion, where does that leave us? Well, the answer isn't out there at all. It's time to look inside the egg. You know, centuries before quantum physics was even a dream, mystics like this guy, Jacob Bohm, were saying the exact same thing. He was like, stop looking outside for answers. The entire cosmos, heaven, earth, even the divine itself, it's all right here inside you. Take a look at this. This is Bohm's Wonder Eye of Eternity. It looks super complicated, I know, but here's the secret. It's not a map of the stars and planets out there. It's a map of the inner, spiritual universe. It's showing how everything is one connected reality, all contained right inside the self.
And this isn't some quirky one-off idea. The whole concept of a cosmic egg is ancient. The Greeks had the Orphic egg, which hatched and created, well, everything. This idea that the entire universe was born from one single, contained source. It's woven through myths all over the world.
So, if the whole universe is inside us, what's at the very center? What's the yolk of this cosmic egg? Well, a lot of traditions have a name for it, the divine spark. And get this, they often talk about it not as a metaphor, but as something real, like a literal tiny flame of pure consciousness, a piece of the divine, living in this protected little space inside your heart, just waiting for you to find it and fan it into a blaze. This leads us straight to the Gnostics. For them, salvation wasn't about believing a list of rules from a book, it came from gnosis. And that's not about memorizing facts. It's a direct, personal, hands-on knowing of that divine spark that's already inside you. It's an experience, not a belief. The Gnostics kind of saw humanity on a three-level journey. Most people, they said, are hylic, totally caught up in the material world, the shell. Some people start to wake up and they become psychic, living between worlds. But the whole point of the game is to become pneumatic, a fully spiritual person who achieves that gnosis and breaks free. So, what happens when you finally do it?
When that divine spark is fanned into a full-on flame, when you achieve gnosis, well, the egg hatches. The shell of your old reality just breaks. The great sage Ramana Maharshi had this incredibly simple but powerful exercise to help trigger this realization. It all starts by questioning what you think you are. So ask yourself, I have a body, right? But am I my body? I can see it, I can feel it, and anything you can observe can't be the real you, the observer.
And you just keep going. I have thoughts, sure, but they come and go. I have emotions, but they pass through me like weather. Since I can watch all of that happen, I can't be those things. They're just experiences passing through, but they aren't the core of who I am.
So, after you do all that, after you mentally set aside everything that changes, your body, your thoughts, your feelings, what's left? What's still there? All that remains is this pure, quiet center of awareness, the silent witness to everything else. That is your true self. And once that realization clicks, once the shell cracks, there is no going back. You can't uncrack the egg. You have to learn to live in a completely new way.
It's really the difference between being a passenger on a bus, where life just kind of happens to you, and suddenly realizing you're actually the one in the driver's seat. You've got new freedom, a ton of new options, but yeah, you also have a new responsibility for where this journey is going.
You know, there's this powerful old story about a beggar who spent his entire life, like 30 years, sitting on an old box. Then one day, a stranger walks by and asks him, "Hey, have you ever looked inside that box?" The beggar, probably annoyed, pries it open, and he's stunned. It's filled with gold. He'd been sitting on his own treasure the whole time and never knew it.
In a way, the mystics, the sages, even the quantum physicists, they're all that stranger in the story. They aren't giving you anything you don't already have. They're just pointing to the box you've been sitting on your whole life and saying, look inside yourself. So the only question that really truly matters is, will you?